Hello, my name is Johnny and I'll be doing my presentation on Man Ray. I've chosen this quote by Man Ray, which is, "My works were designed to amuse, annoy, bewilder, mystify, and inspire reflection." And I believe his work does that. Biographical information. Born 1890, named Emanuel Radnitsky. He was born into a Jewish immigrant family from Russia, where his parents moved to America and gave birth to him. And then they moved to New York City when he was a kid, and also changed his name to Man Ray, as he is known. Man Ray, he learned how to draw in high school and he was very good at it. And then when he graduated high school, he had gotten a scholarship to go to architecture school, but he denied that to pursue art. He was also a frequent visitor to Alfred Stieglitz Gallery 291 in New York, where he liked to go and admire the photos and art by him. Then he died in 1976 at the age of 86. Photographic career. Man Ray was a key figure in the Dada and Surrealism movement. He was also a key figure in avant-garde in New York. In 1921, Man Ray moved to Paris to do his Dada and avant-garde work and Surrealism work. So also during Man Ray's time in Paris, he did fashion photography, where he took pictures for magazines such as Vogue. Man Ray also discovered how to make cameraless pictures, which are just called photograms, but he called them rayograms. So the way that Man Ray created these rayograms was he placed objects directly onto the surface of like light sensitive material, like photographic paper, and then he exposed it to light, and then it creates like this negative with the shadow image, and like it shows different colors and the variation depending on how the light hits the object. So going into Man Ray's later years, he did a project called Self-Portrait, and this took him more than a decade to finish, and then he finished it and published it in 1965. So now I'm going to show you some of Man Ray's work. This photo right here is one of Man Ray's most famous photos. It's called Le Violin d'Ingresse. This photo was inspired by one of Man Ray's people that he admired, which was Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres. This photo at first was made without these F-holes. It was taken just a nude photo of the model Kiki, and then later after it, he painted on these F-holes, and then he retitled it to Le Violin d'Ingresse. This photo right here also maintains a tension between objectification and appreciation of the female form, because it has a Kiki nude, and then it also objects her as like an object or a violin. And then Man Ray also added these F-holes to make it look like a violin, because that was one of Ingres's hobbies. So this next one is Man Ray, The Gift. This one is not really a picture. It's a picture, it's a picture of this object that he sculpted, and this is just like an ironer, and it has tacks on it, and it's just a sculpture that he made that was for the Dada movement. This right here is a photograph that he did of Sinclair Lewis. It's just a portrait photo. This one's also another like portrait photo of Man Ray and Robert Denos. And this Robert Denos is one of the Dada movement poets. So this next one is Egg and Shell, and it's solarization. So it's just like a regular picture, and then he used a different process to make this picture like it is right now. So like solarization is just where it changes where the dark image is and makes them lighter. So like if the shell was originally darker, it made it whiter as for the shell. So everything here that is whiter was probably darker. And this next one is black and white. And this is like a photo of the model Kiki again, but it shows her oval face similar to this one as an oval face. And then she has her face tilted sideways, and this one's more erect, comparing her to this mask. And then her face is lighted from the side, and the mask is lighted from above. So this next one is the primacy of matter over thought, and Man Ray did this during the Dada movement. And then now the next three are going to be some radiograms that Man Ray did. This one right here is called the glass tear. This piece right here was created after Man Ray was broken up by his lover and assistant Lee Miller, and he made multiple works to like an attempt to break up with her as revenge. And this is just a photo of a mannequin, and then it has some beads or glass beads as the tears on the cheeks. And then this is just like an example of Man Ray exploring his interest in the real and unreal by challenging the meaning of still life photography. This next one is just a portrait of Max Ernst. And then this one is a self-portrait of Man Ray. This one is a mannequin on a staircase, and then right here, as in the photo, you can see it's just a mannequin wearing a dress, and this is like towards the fashion photography that Man Ray was doing, but not yet. Now this one is for the fashion photography, and this one's called Main Botcher Triumph Black Net. So this photo right here just shows how beautiful this dress is, because there's no like elaborate sets for the camera. It's just cropped, and it fit perfectly of the model and the dress. And it's just like a frozen shot, because it's like her almost at the climax of a dance or something. And the spotlight illuminates the dress and makes it powerful and like pop up. So Man Ray's significance is he was a major figure in the Dada and Surrealism movement. His work challenged the existing notions of art and literature. He had made two very famous works in these movements, The Gift and Ingress Violin. The Gift was during the Dada movement, and Ingress Violin was during the Surrealism. Man Ray made a new way to take pictures without a camera. He called it radiographs. And then he was also a big figure in fashion photography and portrait photography, where he made a self-portrait book. And then he also made avant-garde films, and he was a really huge impact on the 20th century art.